Hello viewers of Sounding Board, and today we're going to talk about Ultraman, the Trials of Ultraman Issue 1 from Marvel Comics. This was released last week. This is Marvel's attempt at taking a Japanese character and indoctrinating it into the American universe again, like they did with Godzilla in the 70s, early 80s, and the Shogun Warriors. You know, the issue wasn't bad. It basically builds onto the premise that Pacific Rim did, but instead of Jaggers, we just have Ultraman and a secret organization, the Science Patrol, protecting us. The art's okay. It could have been better, especially for this iconic of a character. I think this is story 2 of the Ultraman story, because I think they're doing them in miniseries installments. In this series, unlike the classic 60s series, they try to give Hayata a life outside the Science Patrol. And then, at the end, a character from the other Ultraman series reappears. I'm not sure who that character is and what series he's from. And then we get, like, a goofy little kaiju story. And then we get a story from an alternate story. It looks more like a Star Wars story than an Ultraman story, about the kaijus and an alien race fighting for them. And then on the final page, we get another kaiju story. But overall, the story was a decent read. Especially if you're an Ultraman fan, it's nice to see Ultraman on Western shores. But again, I should say again, because we've had a couple of series. The last series we had of Ultraman made for Westerners was the one made in Australia, and that was the closest. Was it Ultraman Heading to Tomorrow is what it was called? I think that's what it was. But this series is worth taking a look at if you're an Ultraman fan. If not, you could just walk past it, because it just reads like any other sci-fi superhero comic. And for a $5 price tag, people are starting to think now, which comics are we do and don't want, because $5 is a lot of money for 32 pages. At one time, for $5 you could buy 3 issues. Now you got a choice when you go in there of 1 issue, and publishers are wondering why people aren't buying comics. Maybe it's because of the cover price tag. They're trying to recoup cost on license, trying to recoup cost on printing. I'm not sure. But I know I've bragged a couple other times about the price of comics, but it's true. People have so much buying power, and when you've got to buy food, and people like, between this and digital, I'm not talking about the digital version of the comic, but the digital TV and TV shows, people would rather buy something that they don't have to put an effort in. And this is just something publishers need to start realizing. Raising prices of comics is hurting the industry than helping the industry, and then piracy doesn't help much. And then the worst part is a lot of these pirates complain about the comics and never paid their $5 to have the right to even have a voice about the comic book industry. But we'll leave it there, and until next time, this is the Sounding Board signing off. Oh, and one more thing, we'd like to thank Robbie for supplying this comic for us to review.